Myself, D. Haruva Prasad, a retired Deputy General Manager from BSNL and ex-adjunct professor, PSMR College of Engineering and Technology, Vijayawada, AP. In this session, we will continue with the concepts of GSM. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel. Now we will discuss about multiple access technologies. The technique of dynamically sharing the finite radio spectrum by multiple users is called multiple access technique. The radio spectrum is limited, but the users are many and many. So how the limited spectrum can be shared by more number of users, and this technique is called multiple access technique. By adopting multiple access techniques, all users cannot get the services simultaneously, and some amount of blocking is introduced by the system. This some blocking of services is known as grade of services. That means the number of carriers available for the users is less, and the users are more in number, and in case of busy hours, so there is a possibility some of the users may not get access to the network. So this process or this situation wherein some users cannot get the access to the mobile network is called as blocking. This is indicated by one technical term, grade of service. Suppose at a given instant 100 users are trying to access the network, and because of the limited availability of radio resources, suppose if 2 users are not getting the access to the network, the grade of service is 2 by 100, that is 0.02. So further, there are 3 different and important types of multiple access technologies. So mainly 3 types of access technologies are there. One is FDMA, which stands for frequency division multiple access. The second one is TDMA, time division multiple access. The third one is CDMA, code division multiple access. Then let us try to understand what is frequency division multiple access. In FDMA, a base station is allowed to transmit on one or more number of pre-assigned carrier frequencies, that is in the downlink, and a mobile unit transmits on the corresponding reverse, that is uplink channels. So the number of radio carriers allocated to a base station is fixed. So, for example, if the radio transmitter, the base station, if it is transmitting on F1 frequency in the downlink, and one of the users and the corresponding frequency for the user to speak is F1 dash. So this is the corresponding frequency for F1. F1 dash is the corresponding frequency, and no other base station within the range of the mobile will be transmitting on the same forward downlink channel. So if the base station is transmitting on F1 channel, no nearby base station will be transmitting on the same F1 channels. Both the base station and mobile usually transmit continuously during a conversation and fully occupy their assigned forward and reverse channels. So in FDMA, both the base station and mobile, they transmit continuously in their conversation and occupy their assigned frequency channels. One is called forward, other one is reverse. If it is forward is F1, the reverse can be considered as F1 dash. No other conversation can take place on these assigned channels until the first conversation is completed. Once F1 is chosen as the frequency for transmission from base station to mobile station, so the corresponding frequency from mobile to base station would be F1 dash, and no conversation can happen within that base station in F1 and F1 dash. If the radio station is having some more frequencies, so other conversations may be possible. But here what we have to know, once a pair of frequencies are assigned both for mobile station and base station for their transmission, they are fixed as long as this conversation is going on. 1G was designed on FDMA principle. First generation mobile network was designed on FDMA principle. So see the example here. So here the user 1 is speaking, okay, or he is transmitting towards the base station on this frequency 1. Then user 2 is communicating on this frequency 2, and user 3 is communicating on frequency 3, and user 4 is communicating on frequency 4. So from frequency 1, if it is lower frequency, this is next higher frequency, next higher frequency. There is a gap in frequency band. This is the gap between the both the communications of user 1 and user 2 to avoid interference. Similarly, F2 to F3, there is a gap in frequency. So the next F3 to F4 also similar gap is there. This is the example of frequency division multiple access. Let us try to understand the FDMA concept with an analogy. It may be easier to visualize FDMA by imagining a get-together party where two people wish to converse with each other. So there is a party called FDMA party where, say for example, some 10 people have gathered together to celebrate the party. Okay, there two people they want to speak with each other. So in that case, so what is the scenario? Let us see. In such a party, everyone in the room must be silent except for the speaker. So one speaker starts speaking. Okay. So he shares the information with the respective counterpart with whom he is speaking in their pre-assigned frequency slots. The speaker may talk as long as he wishes, and when he finishes, someone else may start speaking, but again only one at a time on the same frequency channel as in the analogy. So one after the other they can speak. So one pair A starts with B and B speaks with A. Until their conversation is completed, no one can occupy that assigned frequency. In turns, they have to speak. New speakers must wait for the current speaker to finish before starting. So here it indicates the same F1 frequency can be allotted to some other pair of speakers and listeners. Once the first speaker and his counterpart completes their conversation. Now let us look into the other multiple access technology, that is time division multiple access. TDMA is a more efficient but more complicated way of using FDMA channels. TDMA will not be used as an independent technology. It is in conjunction with FDMA. First, the available spectrum is divided into number of channels in frequency domain, and each frequency is further allotted a time slot for different speakers. That means the same frequency is allotted to other speakers in a time domain manner. In a TDMA system, each channel is split up into time segments, or which we can call it as time slots, and a transmitter is given exclusive use of one or more time slots. So speaker can be given one of the time slots, okay, if required. Generally in case of data communication, he can be allotted more than one slot also. A conversation then takes place during the time slots to which each transmitter, base station and mobile is assigned. So the time slot is one time slot each for the base station and mobile. I mean the time slots for base station to communicate with mobile and one time slot for the mobile to communicate with the base station is assigned. TDMA requires a master time reference to synchronize all transmitters and receivers, because the channel carrier frequency is divided into time slots for the speakers in time domain. So there should be a master time reference clock so that all the transmitters and receivers are synchronized with reference to the master clock. This is the example of TDMA principle. Here the frequency is same. Everybody is speaking on the same frequency. You see, there is no change in the frequencies of all the four users shown in this diagram. Within the frequency, a time slot is given to user 1. Then second time slot is given to user 2. Third time slot is given to the user 3. And fourth time slot is given to the user 4. Here also you can notice a gap here between time slot 1 and time slot 2. Another gap between time slot 2 and time slot 3, and similar gap between time slot 3 and time slot 4. Here the gap is in time domain, unlike in FDMA the gap is in frequency domain to avoid the interference among all these speakers. Let us try to understand a little bit more about TDMA and its time slots. Let us look into the figure. Okay. Here the frequency is divided into 8 time slots, 0 to 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So next, once again the time slots will repeat 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. GSM, the carrier bandwidth is 200 kHz. This is very important. The bandwidth of the carrier is 20 kHz. This carrier of 200 kHz is subdivided into 8 time slots as shown in the diagram. They are designated as TS0, TS1, TS2 and so on up to TS7. Each user can be allocated one time slot for his transmission. Now here also let us see the TDMA analogy. In the TDMA party, everyone in the room agrees to watch a clock on the wall and speak only during a particular time. During a specific allotted time only, they will speak. Each person wishing to talk is given a set period of time, and each person listening must know what is that specified time period, because the person who is speaking and the person to whom it is intended for synchronize in time domain. So the listener has to properly observe when his speaker speaks or receive the information. So here it is further explained with one example. For example, everyone may agree on time slots with a duration of 10 seconds. Speaker number 1 may talk for 10 seconds starting from the top of the minute. The listener who wishes to hear to this speaker must also be made aware of the schedule and be ready to listen at the top of the minute. So because each person is allotted with 10 seconds in a minute, there are such time slots of 6 10 seconds. First 0 to 10 seconds is given to one speaker, and his listener should be aware of that 10 seconds, that is from 0 to 10. Speaker number 2 may speak only after 10 seconds and until 20 seconds. So speaker 2 will get a chance to speak for another 10 seconds from 10 seconds onwards 20 seconds. Similarly, the third speaker will get a chance from 20 seconds to 30 seconds and so on. Though for easy understanding we have taken the example of 1 minute, this time allotment is in the order of microseconds. As with FDMA, only one person at a time can speak, but in TDMA, each speaker's time is now limited and many persons may take their turn. So in FDMA, the entire frequency is allocated to one speaker. Here, it is not like that. The same frequency is subdivided in time domain, and each will be given in turn the time slots to speak. Let us try to understand the FDMA and TDMA together. In TDMA, if someone in the room cannot see the clock, they will not be able to speak and will have great difficulty in understanding the speakers. Because here in TDMA, the concept is time-based. The allotment of time is time-based. So they have to watch the clock and accordingly they have to speak in their allotted time. Both measures of FDMA and TDMA are combined to achieve higher capacity in practical systems. So in practical systems, both FDMA and TDMA techniques are combined for achieving higher capacity. First, they are divided in frequency domain, the carriers, and each carrier is further divided in time domain. It leads to higher capacity for the mobile system. An user gets a specific frequency band for a certain amount of time. So each and every user will get a frequency for a certain amount of time only, and continuously you will not get the frequency or the carrier for him to speak. The best example for such a practical system wherein FDMA and TDMA are combined is none other than GSM, Global System for Mobile Communication. Let us sum up the concepts so far we understood in this session. So we understood what is the meaning of multiple access technology, how the limited resource spectrum resources can be used by more number of users, and what are the different types of multiple access technologies. They are FDMA, TDMA and CDMA, and we have discussed about FDMA with the help of an analogy for easy understanding. Similarly, we have discussed TDMA technology with another analogy, and we also discussed and understood how FDMA and TDMA together they are implemented for global system for mobile communication or the GSM. Thank you.